Good evening to all. We shall start sharp at 6:30. Meanwhile, you can ask your friends to join in. You can get all your colleagues in. And yes, don't forget, we have something coming up for you all. It's a free test series which is based on some offers, some rules, which will be discussed initially as well as at the end of the session. So if you want to be a part of this free test series grabbing student, stay tuned. We shall start sharp at 6:30. Get in your friends. There is something in bonus for the same. All right. I suppose it's 6:30 and it's good to go. Let's shoot in. Audio clear. I hope I'm clearly audible, right? Can just someone confirm in with a yes in? All right. So why are we here? What we want to discuss? How is this session going to be different from what PharmaElite did in the past? So at PharmaElite, we had previous many more different sessions where we spoke about different things. We spoke about strategies for GPAT NIPER preparation. We have been doing that since a long time for multiple reasons, multiple modifications. Over here, when we say how to solve MCQs effectively, how is our this session going to be different than all our previous sessions? What is it that we want to convey from this particular session, which we didn't do in the earlier all sessions? So, as a whole, they all will be correlated in one or the other way with your preparation only. So, when you say strategy for GPAT NIPER preparation, it involves how to read a subject as well. Not only how to read the subject, but it also involves application of those read things. Most importantly, how much ever you read, if you're not able to apply those things, if you're not able to bring it into application, it's not going to work out. So one of the most important parameter what stands is application of things what you have read. How to solve MCQs effectively, not only while practicing papers, but along with while practicing papers when you go in for your GPAT paper, NIPER paper, BITS, Manipal, any of the entrances, there is one straightforward, easy methodology. There are different ways to solve few questions which otherwise just leave an option due to negatives, but you probably can attempt it. Then how can you attempt it? How can you modify it? How do you do it right from day one? So your studying methodology is supposed to be in lines with your application methodology for paper purpose. That two things will stand most important. If they both go hand in hand, things are going to be easy. So stage one for you to understand with the help of this webinar will not only be how to solve the MCQs effectively, but parallelly it will also help you to understand how to read those subjects effectively. So I've taken a few questions from organic chemistry. I've taken up one or two questions for PHARM. I've taken up multiple other questions which are lying with regards to IUPAC, because most of us have a problem. We always feel reading IUPAC is a difficult choice. There are so many drugs. How am I going to buy at IUPAC for all of those drugs? So in this session, we are basically going to discuss about how can we make IUPAC simpler. There's nothing complex while studying IUPAC. These things are not at all difficult, provided you know how to go about it. So we'll discuss about IUPAC. We'll discuss about those 5 farm numericals. We'll discuss about organic chemistry name reactions. We'll discuss about organic chemistry synthesis. That's how we'll balance it. Although yes, 1 hour is not enough to finish everything, but I'll just be able to give you an insight. If this goes well, and then based on your support, we can do such more sessions for solving MCQs effectively for different subjects. Today's our main focus subject is organic chemistry, two main parts in, since organic chemistry is one where most of us face majority of the challenges. So if you modify your way of studying with organic chemistry, I'm sure your ways of solving MCQs will get modified on its own. Before going ahead, just a proud thing for PharmaElite to mention in PharmaElite's best rank for GPAT 2020 was All India rank 08. Further, with regards to further performances in NIPER's PharmaElite best rank was All India rank 01, general category NIPER All India rank 01, Pharma MBA, NIPER All India rank 02 in MS category, and also NIPER All India rank 18 and further more ranks. Those all ranks, those rankers list is there in a separate video with their feedbacks. Also, in case of ICT MTech test, where hardly few of you might be aware about, in case of ICT MTech also, we have got rank 02, All India rank 02. So we have occupied the best in all those, let it be GPAT, let it be ICT, or let it be NIPER. PharmaElite has shown its marking. So basically, with the help of this session, we just want to guide the same things to you all, what we did for our batch of students. Before going ahead, after highlighting these rankers and sharing this achievement of PharmaElite with you all, I would just like to inform you about a free test series. I suppose you all might have read this notification, maybe on some WhatsApp groups, maybe on some status updates. What is it? How is it going to act? And what is it going to be beneficial about? So this free test series is based on one concept. What is that concept? How is it going to work out? And what is the thing which you need to observe? So when it comes to this free test series, what we are majorly focusing upon is a question paper which you all attendees will be solving at the end of this session. Yes, there will be a question paper which will be shared at the end of this session. You are supposed to solve that particular question paper. Now, this question paper is not going to be that much clear enough or that much easy enough. Rather, it will have some pros and cons in what is going to be it, how are those question paper going to deal. I'll show you, I'll give you an insight about all of them. I'm just holding on the slide for a minute, so please wait back. Meanwhile, just hold back for some meanwhile. I'll just take a second in and I'll reset things. All right. So we were talking about our topic of free test series, free application paper, what we were saying. So this basically free test series or test paper is going to talk about free test series, which is going to be with regards to today's paper. Now this free test series has different things. So first thing what this free test series is going to take into account is, in order to get acquainted to this free test series, you are supposed to solve one question paper. Yes, you all will be getting one question paper which will be at the end of this session. That question paper is supposed to be solved by you all at the same moment. You're supposed to solve that question paper at the same moment. Nextly, in that question paper, you have 10 questions. For those 10 questions, you will get 60 seconds. Mind you, I'm repeating it. For those 10 questions, you will get 60 seconds. So for one question, you get 6 seconds. Yes, that's the level of difficulty in. So you have to apply. all those 10 questions in 60 seconds. There are no negative markings. So you can attempt all those questions in. There is no case of negative marking. So feel free to attempt all those questions. After attempting those 60 questions, sorry, those 10 questions, the one who has attempted maximum correct questions in first 1 minute, so you'll get only 1 minute for solving entire paper. The one who has attempted entire paper in 60 seconds will be the one who will be eligible for the pre-test series. So the first ranker who will be getting it all correct in those 60 seconds will be awarded pre-test series for GPAT 2021 preparation. That pre-test series includes more than 12,000 MCQs on our portal and everything. Second ranker for that test series, second and third ranker will get 50% discount. And the results of this will be announced on our Instagram page tomorrow evening. So you can just follow our Instagram page. It will also be announced on the same YouTube channel in which we are viewing the video live now. You can just subscribe on this particular channel. You will get the notification tomorrow evening once the results are being declared. So meanwhile, all the best to all of you. Stay tuned. Don't worry. It's not the case that all those questions will be a part of things what I've just discussed. No, that's not the case. It's going to be something different. It will have some different things in. Let's get started with our today's agenda, how to solve MCQs effectively. Starting with the first thing over here, we spoke a lot about things in the previous times where we said strategy about studying. We spoke about studying and preparation strategy in those videos. We spoke about practicing with regards to test series. You can find all these videos on PharmaElite's YouTube channel, this entire session of 1 hour in the previous video, which is on the same channel. If you don't get it, just drop a text. We shall share the link in the comment box. We also taught over there ways of solving test papers. How are you going to practice it? What is it going to be? In this today's entire session of next 1 hour, what we are trying to develop over here is the thought process. What we are trying to develop over here is thinking. How are you going to think on those particular questions when you're going to solve it while practicing or when you're going to solve it while solving your GPAT NIPER papers? So basic agenda with this 1 hour session is to get acquainted with how are you going to solve those questions. That's what we want to develop. We want to develop a mindset over here that yes, we can solve that particular number of questions, because at PharmaElite we always target all India rank top 10, 0, 1, where you have to be clear that what number of questions you will attempt. And those number of questions which you will attempt will always come with time, will always come with more and more practicing. So I'll talk about all those points as well. How can you target it and how can you get it through? So our today's entire session is going to talk more about different ways of solving MCQs. One simpler way which we all are aware about is marking the correct answers when we are sure. So if we feel that the given answer is correct or what we are thinking are correct, you straight away go with this. This is what majority of the people always do. But if there is something which is supposed to be different, then this is which will make you different. If you want a different rank, your studying methodology, your preparation methodology, your practice methodology is supposed to be different than all others. So this elimination method, logical way of solving, logical way of studying, we have taken into account all of those. And in next 45 minutes, we'll be quickly rushing through all those tricks, majorly for organic chemistry. Next time we do a webinar, we take up pharmacology, then pharmacognosy, and we keep shuffling between the subjects. In case if you are interested for joining in, you can just reach out us onto the given contact number. So the flow of our session is going to be, first we'll talk about organic chemistry, then we'll talk about paper solving strategy with regards to number of questions to be attempted. कितने questions attempt करने हैं when it comes to GPAT or NIPER. You can apply it to any entrance exam, let it be BITS, Manipal, Pune College of Pharmacy, any of those entrances. And after that, we'll go back to questions which are a bit logical based, as I said, logical way of solving. And finally, we'll go to IUPAC as well, because that's one of the major challenge for all of us. Let's go one by one into all of them. Let's take a brief run into it. So just for your information, this is how your GPAT test series portal will look like. This test series portal picture, which is in front of you, is of PharmaElite writing those successful stories as we have been doing since last 3 years with All India rank 0, 1, 0, 8, 0, 2. And so you can observe this same way you will have your portal for GPAT. You will have a question over here, 4 options. What is most important thing which many of you are not aware, which many of us are not aware, is this feature, mark for review and next. So mark for review and next, moment you click on mark for review and next, the color which is being displayed on this particular pellet, on this question pellet changes. So if you have only marked it, it will come with a purple color. So first and foremost thing what you all should do is whenever you feel like, okay, I need to think more on this question, you should not solve it on the initial stage. You should keep it pending for the later stages. Just mark it, just click on mark for review and next. वो अपने आप पूरा purple हो जाएगा. You don't have to color it. I'm just doing it for your verification. After finishing entire paper, question number 1 to 15, you will run through this palette. You don't have to think of individual questions which all did I just think that I'll attempt later. No, you will have this palette which will have a different color being shown over here. You can see that it is purple colored. Okay. So mark for review next के सारे questions का purple color होगा. You can straight away click on those purple colored one, go on that particular question and attempt those. There is no need of searching individual questions. That's one of the biggest advantages when you do use this feature of mark for review and next. Now the problem is we don't practice papers online. We practice it in books, so we don't get used to such practices. But this is where you can increase your speed because you know that okay, this question is going to take my additional time. I'm not sure about it. So later on, मैं वापस ये question पे आऊँगा और तब मैं ये question solve करूँगा. In that case, what you can do is just mark for review and go to the next question. Now the problem is since we have not practiced it this way, most of us don't even know. अगर मैं mark for review next पे click करता हूँ, फिर मैं उसका आंसर मार्क करता हूँ, and then if I don't unmark it, does the answer get submitted? Most of us are unaware whether the answer gets submitted after that or it doesn't get submitted. We are still in that question mark zone. Yes, this is something which needs to be known. So once you click on that purple colored answer, go on to that particular question, mark the answer, then click on save and next. If you don't click on save and next, if you directly click on the next purpled one, आपका answer save ही नहीं होएगा. Your answer will not get saved if you don't click on save and next. So be careful about these small things. They look small, but that's where the difference comes. You think that I attempted this number of questions, then why didn't I score? The problem is that you didn't knew the way. So yes, that's one of the major challenges in. This is PharmaElite's test series portal, which is designed the same way as GPAT. In fact, we have few additional things for you to practice. On each question, how much time have you invested? Although your marked answer might be correct, I'm not saying that it's wrong. But the problem is that if you're taking more time on that, it is probably your weak zone. So you need to work on that because NIPER is going to be 200 questions for 2 hours. And at PharmaElite, we target you for the best. We are trying to make you ready for NIPER right from the start. GPAT time will not be that big a challenge. And yes, at the end on PharmaElite's test series portal, you also get your scores being compared with the topper of that particular test. So what is the total time that topper took? What was his rank? What number of questions did he attempt? What number of questions did he get correct? And here is my result. I just attempted a paper. I opened it, I attempted it, and I closed it. So I took 21 seconds. I just attempted 2 questions. Both went correct. This is how you get detailed analysis of your preparation. You will get an idea that okay, this is the area where I am weak. This is where I need to improvise. Let's get back finally to our today's main agenda. I was telling you about organic chemistry. I was telling you about one of our weakest subject where we want to practice it to a great extent. So here is the question number 1. Which among the following reaction is involved in conversion of amide to amine? Mark the question up. Amide to amine with one carbon atom less. So you need to understand there are 3 different logics in this. First is the conversion of amide to amine. It is getting converted from amide to amine with one carbon atom less is the second part of it. So these all reactions might be converting a product into amine. But is it with one carbon atom less is second thing you need to know. Third thing you need to understand is all the 4 options which are being listed over here. Do they all have amide as the first reactant? Do they all have amide as the reactant? That's one of the biggest question mark. So indirectly, you need to know this reaction in detail. I'll give you 10 seconds. Here we go. Shoot your answer in. Lawson gives amine, Curtius gives amine, Smith gives amine, Hoffman bromide degradation gives amine. They all give amine as a product. Then why is Hoffman bromide degradation as the answer? Hoffman bromide degradation is the answer simply because It's conversion of amide into amine with one carbon atom less. In all these four reaction, the product is a amine. First thing. In all these conversions, the product is with one carbon atom less as well. But the difference comes over here. The different part of this entire picture is if you take other reactions, Curtius, Lawson, and Smith, the starting material over there is not a amide. It's not amide. It is some other reactant. I'll show you what are those reactants. I'll take you briefly through that as well. That what are those reactants basically, because that's how you will get an idea about how to study things. So the first and foremost thing before we approach such questions is we should know that ये चारों reaction का reactant क्या है और product क्या है. You need to know that. So Lawson rearrangement में भी product amine ही आता है, Curtius reaction में भी product amine ही आता है, Smith reaction में भी product amine ही आता है, Hoffman bromide degradation में भी product amine ही आता है. So it's amine in all the four of them. सब में one carbon atom less के साथ ही amine आता है. अब next क्या? How do I identify that what it can be? So the trick is over here. ओनली हॉफमैन ब्रोमोमाइड डिग्रेडेशन हैज अमाइड एज द रिएक्टेंट. उसके नाम में ही तुम्हारा आंसर है, उसका रिएक्टेंट अमाइड होता है. बाकी तीन के तुमको अगर रिएक्टेंट याद नहीं भी है, still you can get through this to a very easier note. You can just remember this part of the picture. I hope you got the idea. I'll just briefly take you through those name reactions. I won't go in detail. I'm not here to teach you how to go about those name reactions. I'm here just to tell you the tricks. So when next time you study it, you will have a clarity that, okay, this is where I was going wrong in my methodology. This is just a brief explanation of Hoffman rearrangement or Hoffman bromamide degradation. Basically, here you convert amide into a primary amine, which is with one carbon atom less. So this is how your entire reaction goes. You have a amide, RC double bond O NH2. Here is your amide. You react it with Br2 NaOH. Your product is amine with one carbon atom less. वो one carbon atom इधर चला गया. In Na2CO3, that one carbon atom is being eliminated. So एक कार्बन कम भी हो गया, रिएक्टेंट भी अमाइड है और प्रोडक्ट भी अमाइन है. यही तो था क्वेश्चन. Question was saying amide to amine with one carbon atom less. Here it is, Hoffman bromamide degradation, as easy as it could be. Now this is the entire mechanism. Now what we need to understand is GPAT में कोई मेरे को mechanism नहीं पूछने वाला. Why am I going to study it? I'm not going to study it. No one is asking me mechanism in GPAT. There is no need of you to get into the mechanistic aspect of it. Don't waste your time on reading this. I always tell, जितना important ये पता होना जरूरी है कि क्या पढ़ना है, equal important is to know what is not required. So you don't invest your time in the wrong subject. Let's twist the question. If they might have said you the same question, only thing in question is from urea the product is being converted into hydrazine. Will you be able to answer it? From urea, the product is converted into hydrazine. So now the biggest challenge over here is knowing this basic nomenclature that urea कैसे दिखता है, hydrazine कैसे दिखता है. So you should know the structure of urea basically for that case. You should know structure of hydrazine and then probably you will be able to conclude. So urea looks something like this. NH2, C double bond O, NH2. Hydrazine looks something like only NH2, NH2. So there is one CO2 which is being eliminated. So here lies your answer. Your answer is basically Hoffman bromamide degradation only. The answer will stay the same. That is how you are supposed to link it up. Don't get into the mechanism. If you want to observe mechanism, you can observe it for a second and then we go ahead. All right. I suppose you might have gone through it. Let's connect ahead. Talking about Curtius reaction, so I'm not going in detail. What I want you to observe over here is here also your product further becomes an amine only. Here also your product further can come as an amine, but the problem is your starting material over here is not a amide. Question specifically amide बोल रहा था. Your starting material over here is your acyl azide. Your starting material over here is acyl azide. Same way when we go ahead with regards to your Smith reaction. In case of Smith reaction also, it's a carboxylic acid. You can observe over here, it's your carboxylic acid which is getting converted. So if you observe in all these three cases, it's basically different reactant which is leading to a different product. तो अगर आपका रिएक्टेंट चेंज होता है आपका आंसर चेंज होगा. आज उन लोग ने in this particular case they had said specifically that they are talking about an amide being converted. Further, if this is specific about a carboxylic acid being converted, your answer will be different. If they talk about something else, your answer will be different. So based on reactants, your answers will obviously change. So be careful on that particular phase that what is it which is required. I hope it's very much clear and we are good to go ahead. Moving to the next question. Starting material for synthesis of dapsone. So we all might be aware that what dapsone is being used as, dapsone का activity क्या है. Dapsone is an anti-leprosy drug. Now the problem is we don't study drug structure to a good extent, and to be honest, it's not required in GPAT. Why to waste time on those? But then you should have some brief overview that वो structure में moiety क्या था. If you're not doing it in detail, you should have at least some basic idea about how the entire structure works and what it was. That's what we need to understand. What is it? Let's get an idea about this as well. With regards to this particular question, your starting material for synthesis of dapsone when we take into the account. Your dapsone is a structure which basically talks about an anti-leprotic drug. In case of dapsone, here comes your timer for answering, then I'll further take you ahead. पहले dapsone का structure याद करने की कोशिश करो. You know, even if you don't buy out all this starting material, even if you don't rectify this, you can still solve it. You can still solve it. So first thing is you should know structure of dapsone. Do we know the structure of dapsone? Here is how dapsone looks like. Here is how dapsone looks like. So with regards to dapsone structure, I am observing few things in. First thing, dapsone में कहीं पे तो क्लोरीन ग्रुप नहीं है, ओके. कहीं पे नाइट्रो से, हाँ नाइट्रो से अमाइन बन सकता है. NO2 से NH2 होता है, सो अमाइन बन सकता है. So नाइट्रो से अमाइन बन सकता है, that is one thing. Second thing is that with regards to your entire drug structure, if we observe, there is one more thing which needs to be noted. I need sulfur. अभी मुझे पता है 4 बेंजीन और नाइट्रिक एसिड से सल्फर तो नहीं मिलेगा. नाउ दिस इज एलिमिनेशन मेथड पैरेलली. तो ये तो आंसर हो नहीं सकता. ये आंसर हो नहीं सकता तो ऑल ऑफ द अबाव का ऑप्शन भी चला गया. नाउ आई नीड टू थिंक मुझे सल्फर कहाँ से मिलेगा. मुझे सल्फर यहाँ से भी मिल सकता है एंड मुझे सल्फर यहाँ से भी मिल सकता है. नेक्स्ट थिंग विच आई नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड इज, डू आई नीड फिनॉल एनीवेयर. इधर OH का ग्रुप चाहिए क्या? डू आई नीड OH? नो, देयर इज नो चांस ऑफ OH. देयर इज नो OH रिक्वायर्ड एनीवेयर. देयर लाइज द आंसर. तो ये ऑप्शन भी नहीं है. एलिमिनेशन मेथोडोलॉजी से दिस इज द आंसर. 4 chloronitrobenzene is the answer. I hope you got the flow, you got the logic. How did we arrive onto this? This way you can actually solve a lot of question and make it easy for you. There is no need of highlighting things and going in details. You can do them in a smarter manner. Now this is how you should do your synthesis. I've just put it up the way you should usually perform your synthetic studies as well. So you should have name of the drug. So यहाँ पे आप dapsone लिख दो. Then mention starting material. So starting material basically you mean to say what are the starting materials for synthesis of dapsone. List down those. Then list down next thing. What are the reagents which are involved? If you do it in this manner, it becomes easy for you to study. This is a smarter way of doing synthesis. So this was the structure of dapsone. लास्ट स्लाइड पे हमने देखा था दो एनिलीन है बेंजीन के साथ NH2 और बीच में SO2 है. दिस इज व्हाट वी सॉ. The starting material is this 4-chloronitrobenzene and sodium sulfide. Observe 4-chloronitrobenzene and sodium sulfide. So I hope you are able to sync it. Even if you don't buy it, you can still solve it. If you know overview of the drug's final structure as well, you can still solve it. Going further, then different steps would occur. They will react. You will get a sulfur in between. Nitro के दो molecules लेते हम two, so those two form rings around, and that's how it goes further accordingly. Your synthetic oxidation hoga for this sulfur. It will get converted into SO2. It will further get converted while it will get reduced with tin chloride and HCl. And that's how you get your final product, which is dapsone. This is how you should go about when it comes to preparation. तो डैप्सोन या तो कोई भी ड्रग का सिंथेसिस आप पढ़ो उसको इसी तरीके से पढ़ो. दिस इज हाउ यू कैन डू इट इन अ स्मार्टर वे. आई होप इट्स क्लियर टिल हियर. Going ahead to next question, which is belonging to our 5 farm. So this question probably most of you might have heard multiple times. In this particular question, what we are trying to say is you are supposed to calculate, according to Young's formula, you are supposed to calculate child dose for ciprofloxacin. Okay, ciprofloxacin is the drug whose adult dose is equal to 800 mg. Whose adult dose is equal to 800 mg. अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या होता है? वी हैव स्टडीड यंग फॉर्मूला इन आवर फर्स्ट ईयर फार्मेसी. वी डिडंट रिवाइज इट. वी डोंट नो द आंसर. मोस्ट ऑफ अस माइट जस्ट लीव इट इन ऑप्शन. यंग फॉर्मूला याद नहीं है. बट अ स्मार्ट पर्सन विल नॉट अप्लाई फॉर्मूला. He doesn't require formula. He just need to observe the options. If he observes the option, he knows what is going to be the answer. If you observe all the options, we know just one thing, that a child dose is always less than adult dose. Child dose हमेशा adult dose से कम होता है. In all these four options, there is only one option which is less than adult dose. 800 से छोटा वाला number सिर्फ एक ही है. So I'm not going to apply formula. I'm not going to do any solving. I don't need to know the formula. I'll straight away mark D as the answer simply because it is the only option which is less than 800 mg. So be smart while studying, be smart while preparing. Don't think for answers only after reading the question. Point number one. Question read करने के बाद चारों options देखो. Find out if there is any correlation. Get an idea that okay, it's correlated this way, and then accordingly go ahead. I suppose in last 15 minutes we could give you insights about how to study organic chemistry name reactions. This was a question in 2017 GPAT. Only thing was that time there were two options which were below 800. I have made here only one option. There were two options which were below 800. In that case, you need to have that logic in that which number could be more up down. That's how you can solve it at that stage. You can find such question in 2017's paper as well. I hope we could give you idea about organic chemistry name reaction, synthesis, a question of 5 farm. Now I'll just briefly take you to paper solving strategy, and then we'll go to the biggest problem what all of us face, IUPAC. And after that, I'll take you to the test. Yeah, the 10 questions test, which is going to last only for 60 seconds. In 1 minute, the one who attempts maximum correct answers will be getting the free test series as we discussed. So yes, we talk about studying strategy. We talk about how to read, what to read. We always talk about paper solving strategy as well. I don't know, many of you might have heard us for this, but please stay tuned for next 5 minutes so that your other friends can get an idea about how to go for paper solving. Basically, your paper of 125 questions of GPAT, which is for 3 hours, it should be solved in 3 rounds. In fact, you can apply this to any paper, not only GPAT. कोई भी पेपर हो आप उसको 3 राउंड में सॉल्व कर सकते हो. In first round, you will attempt only those questions about which you are sure. So I'll briefly distinguish it into 3 rounds. Suppose out of this 125 questions, there are 35 questions जिसके बारे में आपको कुछ भी नहीं पता. You are unaware that what are these 35 questions. So जो unknown questions होते हैं, don't attempt them because there will be negative marking. So initially जो unknown questions है, don't attempt them. They should not be attempted. Next stage, what you do is, out of remaining 90 questions, let's suppose out of this 90 questions, 50 questions are such in which you know the answer. Yeah, there are discounts in test series as well, Rakesh. Don't worry, I've noted your point. Stay tuned. Within next 20 minutes, you will get an idea about that as well. Suppose in this 90 questions, 50 questions are such about which you know the answer. You are confident that what you are marking is correct. So you go and attempt only those 50 questions in first round. Round number one, you will mark only those answers about which you are sure that what you're marking is correct. In round two, you will attempt all those questions where you feel that things are correlated. There is a chance of you going correct equally as a chance of you going wrong. So if the situation is 50-50 or 40-60, chances of you going correct is 60. Chances of you going wrong is 40. Attempt those 40 questions. Take that calculated risk, but it has to be a calculated risk. Most of us won't attempt it because they think negative marking it, they don't take a risk. But trust me, here is the point where you can distinguish yourself from others. कुछ अलग करना है तो कुछ अलग करना पड़ेगा. So be ready for doing that different thing. Suppose you take risk of this 40 questions. Let's assume आपने ये risk लिया. Out of this 40 questions, say suppose your 10 questions go correct. ठीक है? Out of this 40 questions, say your 10 questions go correct and your 30 questions go wrong. In GPAT, as we are aware, every wrong answer will lose your minus 1. So 30 into minus 1 would basically mean minus 30 marks. But as we are aware, in GPAT, for every correct question, we get 4 marks. So 10 into 4 will bring us 40 marks. Plus 40 minus 30 comes to a net score of plus 10 marks. You think 10 marks is too less? In GPAT, 10 marks can make a difference of even 150 to 200 ranks. If you want to observe the stats, you can go on to our channel, the earlier videos. You'll get an idea about how they can make a major difference. I hope you got an idea about taking the risk. Your round 3 is going to be this, जो unknown questions है, जिसके बारे में आपने कभी ज़्यादा कुछ सुना नहीं है. Since now you're at the end of the paper, you have time, you can think on this particular questions rather than leaving them. कहीं से कुछ logic मिल जाता है and then we probably get through. For someone, those unknown questions will be difficult. For others, it might be very easy. सबका unknown questions का bucket अलग होगा. It won't be the same. So your chances of risk are always possible. You can take that calculated risk and go ahead. So suppose you are taking that calculated risk, and we at PharmaElite always advise you to attempt as many questions as you can. Basically, we always target at least 100 questions to be attempted. So if you want to get into top 10, target at least 100 questions. If you just want to qualify, you can play somewhere in this range as well. If you just want to qualify. But we always advise attempt 100 questions. Let's assume out of those 100, 90 go correct. 90 correct questions would mean 90 into 4, 360. Suppose my 10 questions go wrong. 10 into minus 1 would basically mean minus 10. So 360 minus 10 comes to a net score of 350. And a score of 350 in GPAT for sure makes your rank in top 10 ranks. All India rank top 10, probably even 0-1. So target right from day one that how many questions are you going to attempt. Take that calculation into account. If you want to get in touch with us for the test series preparation, our live webinar lectures are already going on. New batches are being added up. We have students across India. You can just reach out onto this particular number 8433830815. We'll let you know the entire procedure. Same number is wavering in the banner below as well. And yes, SSR, if once the answer is attempted, will answer be changed? Yes, you can change the answer anytime. You can remark it. You can go through those marked answers. You can change those answers based on what you feel correct in the later run. You can take that risk. Going ahead, here comes the next question. सबसे बड़ा problem is the IUPAC. Most of us don't attempt IUPAC because we feel that reading IUPAC itself is very time consuming. Is it worth the time we are going to invest? Are we going to be able to recollect the answer on the day of exam? That is one of the biggest challenge we all ask ourselves. मैं जो इतना पढ़ भी रहा हूँ, मैंने इतने जो ड्रग्स के IUPAC बायड भी किए, will I be able to recollect the answers of those? That is staying the most biggest challenge with all of us. So if we check this question, what is the IUPAC name of tolbutamide? Now the biggest problem first and foremost is मेरे को tolbutamide का structure आना चाहिए. पंगा ये है कि most of us don't know the structure of tolbutamide. तो answer कहाँ से आएगा? But yes, there is a logic involved over here as well. Sham got it correctly. Tolbutamide, but कहीं तो ब्यूटाइल चाहिए. यहाँ पे है ब्यूटाइल. ये ऑप्शन में ब्यूटाइल है क्या? नहीं है. ये ऑप्शन में किधर ब्यूटाइल है? नहीं है. ये ऑप्शन में किधर ब्यूटाइल है? नहीं है. ओ, सिर्फ यही ऑप्शन में ब्यूटाइल है। मुझे टोल ब्यूटामाइड का स्ट्रक्चर नहीं मालूम, बट स्टिल आई कैन कॉन्फिडेंटली मार्क दिस एज द आंसर. This is how you need to be careful and you can take that calculated risk. टोल ब्यूटामाइड के लिए इजी था, मान लो बाकी के तीन ऑप्शन में अगर आपको ब्यूटाइल वर्ड दिखता तो आपके लिए चैलेंज हो जाता था. Again, your tolbutamide is the sulfonyl urea, as someone just correctly mentioned. Here is the structure of tolbutamide. But, ये रहा चार, 1 2 3 4. Here is your butyl chain. हो गया tolbutamide. This is what we were talking about. So this is how it is being correlated. Your sulfur in urea. ये easy था. Other ways to take it up is something like this. अब IUPAC इतने सारे मैं पायाट कहाँ से करूँ? आ गया पंगा. So this is how we teach in at PharmaElite as well, and this is how we prefer to read always. First one is tolbutamide. सब structures by नहीं करना है. Butyl, sulfonyl urea, 4 पे methyl. Here is the methyl group of it. 4 methyl phenyl sulfonyl urea. The other way to do it is tolbutamide का जो टोल है ना, it has actually come from the word toluene. Toluene क्या होता है? Toluene is benzene पे CH3, correct? Toluene is benzene पे CH3. So here is that moiety of your toluene. इसके लिए टोल है. ये ब्यूटामाइड का ब्यूट इधर है और ये बीच में अमाइड बॉन्ड है, इसलिए टोल ब्यूटामाइड. दिस इज हाउ यू कैन रिमेंबर इट एज वेल. So be smart with the way you prepare in, because your paper solving is ultimately dependent on how you study things. All the things are interrelated. You go wrong in your way of studying, yes, then you go wrong with your way of attempting answers. क्लोरोप्रोपामाइड में ही आंसर है, उसमें क्लोरीन ग्रुप होगा, प्रोपाइल चेन होगा, ये ला क्लोरीन ग्रुप, ये रहा प्रोपाइल चेन. In all IUPAC, you will find such logics because they are not made out of the logic or they are not made without any sense. They all have some or the other correlations in the way they are being framed, in the way they are being linked up. So if you want to observe, check acetohexamide, glyburide, glipizide, वो सबके में साइक्लोहेक्सेन कॉमन है. तो जब आप ये सबके ये देखने लगोगे IUPAC name, they all will say cyclohexane and you can still solve it. Niharika, ideally you should not attempt a GPAT in third year. So that doesn't stand in. That's where the answer comes in. And yes, you can still cover the fourth year syllabus any day by reading it parallel. But yes, you should not attempt it because NTA might just record your next year's attempt as the second attempt. I'm not saying they record it, but if they record it that way, then it will be counted as your second attempt in that case. I hope you got an idea about IUPAC as well. Can we go ahead? I hope things are clear till here and we all have a clarity. So till now we discussed about synthesis. We discussed about organic chemistry name reaction. We discussed about logical way where it was linked to child dose, adult dose. Now we talk about IUPAC. Let's go to one of the most frequently asked questions in GPAT, which is always moving around adverse drug reaction. So with regards to adverse drug reaction, I'll just explain it after this particular slide, Deepak. Don't worry, I'll move back. With regards to adverse drug reaction, they are asking which among the following is common adverse drug reaction caused by phenytoin and minoxidil. So few of you have answered in both A and B. Gingival hyperplasia, hirsutism. Now these are common one, we could get in through it easily and we could solve it. But tomorrow you might just find such same questions which look easy over here but named with some different drugs about whose area you are not aware, and this might come as a challenge again. So how do you do it in that case? You went wrong over here. Question, it's not C. Read the question again. Read the question again. What is the question saying? Read the question again. What is the question saying? It is saying common adverse drug reaction caused by phenytoin as well as minoxidil. ऐसा कौन सा एडीआर है जो ये दोनों कॉज करते हैं? फेनिटॉइन भी वो एडीआर कॉज करता है एंड मिनोक्सिडिल भी वो एडीआर कॉज करता है. ये दोनों एडीआर फेनिटॉइन के हैं. Phenytoin causes both gingival hyperplasia as well as hirsutism. This has been a frequent question in NIPER in the previous years, also in GPAT. बट वो हमेशा फेनिटॉइन के साथ आता था, वो फेनिटॉइन के एडियाज पूछता था, जिंजिवर हाइपरप्लेसिया या हिरसुटिज्म। व्हाट आई डिड ओवर हियर, मैंने दोनों का कॉमन एडवर्स ड्रग रिएक्शन पूछा है। मिनॉक्सिडिल और फेनिटॉइन दोनों का कॉमन एडीआर क्या है? तो दोनों के बीच में कॉमन एडवर्स ड्रग रिएक्शन इज जिंजिवर हाइपरप्लेसिया। They both cause gingival hyperplasia. It's not that both A and B will be the answer. No. Hirsutism and gingival hyperplasia ये दोनों से फेनिटॉइन करता है. Minoxidil can only cause gingival hyperplasia. Minoxidil cannot cause hirsutism. Question is saying common adverse drug reaction. Common. I hope you are getting the point. How is it being related? ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें होंगी जो हम मिस कर जाएंगे because we are going fast, we are in a hurry, we are in a tense mode, we are anxious. And looking at the question, we feel, okay, I've read it multiple times. I cannot go wrong, and you will straight away mark both A and B. So be careful on these lines. These are questions of your hand. These are those 50 questions about which we just spoke. We said ना ये 50 questions first round where we cannot afford to go wrong. ये वो 50 question है जो हमारे हाथ से नहीं जा सकते. They are not difficult. Only thing was this that this question was being twisted. So you have to get that difference in the question pattern. You have to read it and get an idea about how is it different than others. They are asking common adverse drug reaction. Let's be ready for the worst difficult type of papering. While studying adverse drug reaction, read it in a smart way. Don't study adverse drug reactions individually. Don't study that glucocorticoids causes osteoporosis. So you will study this in corticoids chapter. When you will do anticoagulants, there you will study heparin causes osteoporosis. Then when you will do thyroid, there you will study thyroxine causes osteoporosis. अलग अलग चैप्टर में मत करो. Drugs which cause same area should be listed together. Likewise over here, when it comes to hepatotoxicity is caused by so many drugs. Buy out all those drugs which have the same EDR, right from your halothane to chloroform to isoniazid, iproniazid, xylutone, rifampicin. All those drugs which causes hepatotoxicity should be grouped together. Same way with regards to cardiomyopathy. In case of cardiomyopathy, also you can observe donorubicin, doxorubicin. So all those drugs which have a common EDR, a common adverse drug reaction, group them together, take them together. Don't keep them on different note. The moment you study it in this manner, it becomes easy for you to remember things. Now I'll just briefly take you to one more methodology of solving questions in GPAT. Now this is basically because of the paper pattern. Now your GPAT question paper is actually being made easy. Trust me, your GPAT question paper is actually being made easy. Correct. Finally, you got it that you were correct. And what I said was wrong. Minoxidil also causes hirsutism. It was both A and B. But yes, if there is a twist, then be ready for such type of things and as well. I just want to take you briefly through one more way in which questions are being asked. And probably, if you don't know the answer, you can actually still give it a try. Now, how is that try going to happen? Is something like this. I hope you all can see the PDF on screen. Now, this PDF is basically a GPAT 2019's question paper. It is available in public domain. You can find GPAT 2019's question paper anywhere in. You will find it online as well. If you wish, you can just connect with us. We can share this as well. Not a problem. The confidentiality of the paper is already being hidden. So there is no risk with regards to that. We have hidden who was the paper attempter and all. Now, what I want you all to observe over here, which can basically give you a better idea about. Are you able to see PDF on screen? Are you all able to see PDF on screen? Just a second. I'll just reshare it. I suppose it's there now. Here is the PDF on screen. So if you observe carefully over here, this is GPAT 2019's test paper. It's available in public domain. If you want, we can share it with you. The identity is hidden. Now, what I want you all to observe is this. ये section 1 दिख रहा है, इधर कुछ तो लिखा है, other subjects. What does this mean? So they are probably classifying it. If you check question papers of GPAT of the year before 2018, अगर आप 2017 के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स देखते हो जब AICTE था, जब तक NTA was not in the picture, till the time it was being carried or taken care by NTA, National Testing Agency, the pattern changed. Now in the question paper they are giving the separate sections being mentioned. Other subject करके एक section है. वो other subject में multiple subjects के question है. APP भी है, analysis भी है, OC भी है, सब कुछ mix कर दिया है. It's a total combination of all of those. And if you observe, when you go ahead, you will also find a question which is going to one another category where they become subject specific. Observe pharmaceutics. So, many times when you read a question, you don't get an idea that ये question कौन से topic या कौन से subject का है. अपने को वो click नहीं होता कि ये कौन से question कौन से chapter से आया है या वो कौन से corner से आया है. So when you get stuck in this manner, just try and observe if they have mentioned any specific subject and then start thinking on those lines that okay, it has something to do with pharmacology, it has something to do with pharmacognosy. Many times they are grouped it under different subjects where we might not feel that it should be grouped into. But other than that, it's always easy to find out and kind of come down to what can be the answer. That's how you can get through such questions. So if you observe questions carefully, if you observe the category they have been grouped into, you will get an idea that उसको क्या level या क्या angle से सोच के answer करना है. Many times if you don't know the way, observe that how it is being linked. Like check pharmacognosy, section pharmacognosy करके ही question दिया है. लाइकोपोडियम स्पोर्स पे से क्वेश्चन हमेशा रहा है. या तो वो नंबर ऑफ स्पोर्स पे होता है या तो साइज ऑफ स्पोर्स पे होता है. So if you keep an eye on all these things, if you know how to balance these things, if you know how to observe them, you actually can get a far more better advantage compared to others around. Be smart with how you do things, and that's how you can differentiate yourself from all the others around in the corner. Let's go ahead. I hope I could give you a brief insight about organic chemistry studying, synthesis studying, questions which you might other day be lived in, IUPAC, and also how you play with your question papers. So question paper में ही अगर आप carefully चीज़ों को observe करोगे, you might just find things are in your hand to a good extent. All right. So we'll move back to our presentation where we were discussing things from different point of view. So basically, we are talking about how all these things are going to help me. Is it going to be beneficial? Is it going to help me to get a rank of my choice coming into top 10? Will it be possible? Just want to tell you all one thing. Don't think that whether I can crack GPAT. Think about what rank should you target. Qualify हर को आ जाए हर कोई हो जाएगा. रैंक क्या टारगेट करना है? आई एम गिविंग यू दैट टारगेट एज वेल. कीप इट इनटू टॉप 10. The more better you perform at GPAT, more better chances you have for NIPER. I'm a NIPER alumni. I know what advantages NIPER brings over GPAT. Right from industry knowledge to industry exposure to placements to starting with a good package to great learnings. NIPER can offer you all those things which you might just miss in. The more you study for GPAT, the more ready you get for NIPER. NIPER is a different case in some other day we'll talk about in detail for NIPER as well. Other than that, if you stand smart, trust me, you can crack GPAT, you can easily qualify. There have been success stories of GPAT where people couldn't do well in semesters, but they did very well in GPAT, where they failed in GPAT, but later on in NIPER, they grouped their rank from, something in 5,500 to in NIPER coming to 96. Yeah, that has been a success story with PharmaElite. So from not the greatest rank in the past, you can make it to the best in GPAT. Forget what happened in the past. You cannot change it any day. वो हो गया है, वो days चले गए, वो months चले गए. You cannot read that and come back to all those topics being covered again. Focus on things which you have in your hand. Focus on things which you can do because anything and everything is possible. It's all about perception. If you perceive that you can do it, trust me, you actually can do it. It's all in your hand. Believe in yourself to become, and you will be soon writing history wherein you will be a all India rank 01, first one probably from your particular college for sure, maybe the state as well. Now, I'll just like you to give a brief about what is our test series, free test series going to have. It's having 12,000 plus MCQs available for a year. Full length test, subject specific test, chapter specific test, semi full length test, cluster papers, all those things. Deepika, with regards to placement salary range from NIPER, it goes from 4.5 to 9 at NIPER Mohali, 4.5 to 9. NIPER Hyderabad goes from 4.5 to 8.5, and they are far more compared to others. Only pharmacology is not going to help in. So you have to balance it with all the subjects. Giving in third year is not the way to go about. So don't attempt it in third year, as I said initially. Now, what is this pre-test series? What is the pattern? What is it going to deal about? So be ready with your connections in the paper. Ones who will be getting the free test series will be accessible to the following manner. So stage number one is, in order to grab this free offer on test series, there are things which you need to take into account. So the first thing in this particular free things is you need to get an idea about how is it going to work out and what are the tests being planned into. So we have basically planned tests into different manners. So the first and foremost things what we'll be looking into, I suppose the screen is out. Just wait for a second. I'll be resetting it. It's just got hang. So basically, this entire test series will be free for selected students. And as I said, the first one would get the entire test series free. Second and third ranker will get 50% off on the test series paper packages. So what is the test series plan and all? I already showed you that how we take it up at PharmaElite. Now you all can observe this particular thing which is right in front of you. Yes, Rakesh, 2 months are more than enough to get ready for GPAT and make it into top 10 as well. For trials, you will get question paper later on as well. For trials, you can practice it on test portals as well. I'll tell you at the end of this session why you should not attempt it. So just wait back. I would surely like to answer it. So when it comes to free test series pattern, what is the one eligibility criteria and all? Stage number one, you can grab the free offer for test series for GPAT preparation by attending test on the given link in the chat box. So yes, within next 3 minutes, we will be posting one link in the chat box. The one who attempts entire question paper, okay, that entire question paper is of 10 questions. सिर्फ 10 question है उसमें, and it will ask your simple basic details so that we can reach out to you for your achievements and share those pre-test papers with you. There will be 10 questions in. You have 1 minute to attempt the paper. 1 minute, basically you have 60 seconds to attempt the paper. So after 60 seconds, paper will not get submitted. But if you submit the paper late, we'll get the duration, we'll get the time. I know you can't copy the link from chat box. There is no need of copying the link from chat box. You can just click on the link. It will directly take you to that particular paper. It will be taken now. The test paper will be taken now in next 3 minutes. Results received in first 1 minute will be considered for the free GPAT test series. So suppose if you attempt the entire 10 questions correct, but if you take 2 minutes, then you are out of the game. The selection criteria is straightforward, only the first 1 minute of attempting the paper. In first 1 minute, if you attempt 10 questions, your 7 questions go correct. And if there is someone else who attempted 10 questions, all 10 questions went correct, but they took 2 minutes. Moment you take more than 1 minute, you are disqualified. Okay, I haven't shared the link till now. GPAT forms are not yet out. They'll probably take another 10-15 days. At the end, results will be announced on PharmaElite's Instagram page as well as the YouTube channel tomorrow, which is 9th November. It will be posted around 7 p.m. in the evening. It will be posted around 7 p.m. in the evening. Subscribe our channel to get the notification of the result. You can reach out onto the contact number being shared in. You can reach out onto our website, our LinkedIn page, our YouTube channel. You'll get an idea about all the subjects in as well. Shall I share the link in? Are we all ready for the question paper? Or you need some time? It's very easy. You just need to mark the answers in. I don't think you will be facing any challenge. Exact 1 minute, okay? Amisha, you can just reach out to our team member. He'll help you out with the entire procedure. Don't worry, just reach out onto the given contact number. So be ready. I'm posting the link for the chat. I'm posting the link in the chat box for the test paper. So it's a Google form. Ensure that you fill all the details in. So you probably have less than 60 seconds to play. I'll just make it 70 seconds. Okay. I've made it 70 seconds now. 10 seconds you will be getting for filling your details, your name, your contact number, email ID, and remaining 60 seconds will be for you to solve the paper. Moment you take more than 60 seconds, you are disqualified. Sorry, more than 70 seconds overall, you are disqualified. I'm pasting the link. Here we go. Your time starts now. It's being listed as Google Form. You can solve by clicking on that. I'll waiting here for the next 1 minute. Don't worry. It's 7:27. I'll wait till 7:28 and have my time watch on as well. You can come back after next 1 minute. The link is opening at my end. Probably there are multiple clicks. The Google form, the link is opening at my end. It's opening, it's functioning properly. It's opening, students. So don't worry, it will be from the time you take to open and close. It won't be immediate. Try again, the link is opening. It's working. In fact, we are able to submit the response as well, and you can see your score as well. You can click on view score at the end, you will get your score. How much answers you got correct out of 10. You can view your scores as well. It's working. It's working, Meena. I just did it. We have taken trials at our end. It's working. Please check your connection. After 7:30 from any other device will not accept it. You will be able to submit, but will be not accepting it as a part of our analysis. Meena, just copy and paste it on some browser. Copy the link and paste it on some other browser. If the link is not working for you, copy it and paste it on another browser and try it over there. It's working for me totally fine. I've taken trial now again as well. It's totally fine. I suppose you all should be able to do it and it should not be a challenge. The time is about to end. Anisha, it's working. Others all have also submitted it. Rakesh, with regards to planner for GPAT 2021, just contact on the given number. We'll help you out with the entire planner. In fact, you can go through our earlier videos. You will find it in that as well. And it will be aidful in further as well. So all the best, everyone. Results will be announced tomorrow evening around 9 p.m. on our Instagram page and on our YouTube page. You can reach out onto our Instagram page which says PharmaElite17. You can follow us over there. You can just subscribe onto this channel, on click on the bell icon so that once the result is given in, you can totally observe it with regards to your ranks and your scores as well. Thank you so much for your patience listening. I hope it was worth your time and it was totally fine. And I guess you might have seen your scores in as well. You can view your scores over there. If you are interested to join PharmaElite, give us a chance to write your success story. Click on this particular contact number, just dial him. He'll help you out with the entire further procedures. Let's write your success story as we wrote for our other students for GPAT 2020, NIPER 2020, and ICT Tech. Now we'll be more than happy to write it for you when it comes to your GPAT in GPAT 2021. All the best, everyone. Stay home, stay safe, keep studying, and let's do it together for your particular time as well. In case of any queries, feel free to reach out to PharmaElite. We'll be helping you in, not a challenge any day. And yes, Deepak, if you have any other challenge as well, you can reach out to us. Manish, it has to be hard because we are trying for something best. So, yes, 10 questions and just 60 seconds in. All the best, everyone. Take care. Stay home. Stay safe. Bye bye.
Bye.